Hi everybody, this is Karak with ACG, and we're on our next bit of our Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Let's Play. We were getting ready to talk to the Noble here, and we were discussing a little bit about audio design in games. Today I'm not quite sure what we'll end up discussing tech-wise, but we'll go ahead and jump in, and we'll see what Duke says about the murder most foul.
Hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have. Like our noble Captain Aureus before you.
That is correct. I'm here to ruin your day. Let's go with... I've heard quite the story involving you, Esmeralda.
Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. I quite doubt it was even a secret from Jake while he lived. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you, the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the busybodies around town make it out to be.
One thing we can talk a little bit about is characterization. Characterization comes up and multiple times in different discussions. It's come up recently, just as recent as this morning, in a podcast I did where we discussed Fallout 4 having voiced characters. In this game, you have a subtle voicing of the characters that are within your party that you can sort of do a tit for tat with at different times during different narrative moments. And it really does make you sort of think about how you're going to play out these characters in this game. And not to be down on these kind of games, but that doesn't always happen on a 3/4 view style, an isometric game like this.
Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder.
Let's go with, what do you know about Jake's murder? Or, if I was voicing it, what do you know about Jake's murder?
It's very tragic news. I won't posture and say that the Counselor and I were anything near allies, but I truly never wished the man harm.
So that's pretty much what he said the first time.
Duke of Ferrell. Though I suppose my name is in the mouths of enough ruthless gossipers that you've heard of me by now.
He's got a Jeremy Irons sound to his voice, if you guys listen. So, really not much unique was said. Now, I'm going to pick Medora, and I'm going to have her talk to him.
Come now, Alistair.
And if you notice, you'll find that most prefer talking to the main heroes, though they're willing to trade with all companions. Basically, they treat your secondary characters as sort of just slaves. Secondary peeps. Alright, so let's talk again to Anna.
Darling, don't dither. You must speak with Mendius and join the Fabulous Five immediately.
She doesn't have anything to say. Go back here then. Now we've talked to the Noble. Let's talk again to the bartender. The barkeep. Barkeep, pour me a pint. Steer clear from the path that you have prepared.
Hello again. How can I help you? Mind if we keep our voices down over that sensitive subject?
Doesn't say much new, does he?
Dark magic ain't exactly great for business, you know. That room where it happened, it was rented to a certain woman. Though I regret to say, I can't say exactly. She came heavily.
So he's just repeating himself, so we'll skip through these.
Has escaped through the window. Councillor Jake, that poor man. I knew too much of Esmeralda's longest-standing lover has the audacity to remain lodged at...
So, he didn't really give us any other additional words. So what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to go and find the, basically the person who runs the town, the military person who runs the town, and get the okay to go into that room. As you go back to him, and
Hello.
it's all the same, it's all the stuff we've,
Interrogate me for information I don't have.
and we don't want to keep hitting it because what it can do is it can lower your reputation with him. So, Captain Arius, I guess, is who we need to go to. So we're going to highlight that. So as you'll see, that appears on the white, little white mini map marker there. We'll head through. Here's your merchant area, one of them.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Actually, we'll go this way. There's a pavilion. Warm.
Bake you like a cake.
Warm, warm. We're warm. I get it.
Hot under the collar. A good day to you.
Really can't fault the game for what it's got going on. If you look at the textures here, these are fairly low resolution. I've got this all cranked. Low resolution textures here, but what you're staring at for the most part is actually pretty good. I mean, this is sort of low, but they've chosen that unique aesthetic that sort of lets them get away with it a little bit. No one's going to say this is the super high definition graphics by any means.
Everyone knows the ugly soldiers are the most ferocious.
Ugly'll be the least of it. The beast looks rabid.
Oh, you got somebody locked up. Well, let's talk to Various.
Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
Curious situation you got here.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal.
That's hot.
We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat old rat trotting along the city walls. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did.
Ooh, ouch.
Pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
So, we can take this character under our wing, or attempt to.
After all, a fearless hunter might prove quite useful for our investigation.
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
How you doing? Talk to her.
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our kind.
One of the things about voice acting that I think we all realize, and especially this does come down to characterization, is a lot of times, depending on where the actual game is created, sometimes they'll pick certain nationalities, certain areas to do the voice acting, and the characters will all start to sound a little alike. That's already happening here. You got a lot of Irish, a lot of that overall style of dialect going on. Every single character has it a little bit. It's sort of funny.
In Hope Forest, every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
There's little in our world more variable than the minds of men.
It is difficult for me to claim humanity as you do. I am still learning to see myself in the faces of those I meet. And those I meet do not always see themselves in me. It is strange to stand with one foot in the forest and the other in the city, Source Hunter. I am glad that now I have you standing beside me.
I haven't made friends this fast and easy since high school. That's awesome. It's just like, now she's a fast friend. High loyalty. Like, I'll die for you. Of course, I guess I did save her from, well, they didn't even know what they were going to do, actually. All right, Legion headquarters. So you've got Aquarius. We need to talk to him so that we can get an authorization to go in and open that door in the inn.
What have we here, then? The so-called Source Hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Sicil, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs. You hear?
Let's discuss Jake's murder.
Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. He just had to send for Source Hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot.
Okay, that's cool.
I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
There we go. So we got that part. That's what we needed. Let's go ahead and ask him in regards to Jake's wife, Esmeralda, the whore of Babylon.
Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past.
This dude's fun.
You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
You know what there is in this world? A guarantee that there is never perfect objectivity. Let's ask some additional questions.
If you must.
Actually, no, we've got what we need from him. Okay. Now, all these are stealable, but we won't do that right now. Might do that later. Might give him a little surprise. All right, so highlight the crime scene, as you can see. Gives us that little alert. We'll head back. Anyway, about characterization, because that's something I do want to talk about, throughout this title as we play it and stuff like that. One thing I really do like is, even though they've messed around a little bit with the dialects, that everybody's voice acted that wasn't voice acted prior, there is still a lot of room for you to make choices, and you're going to notice that, especially as we go on farther, that there's a good amount of space for people to make choices. And I expect people who are watching this, and probably won't get a lot of views, but whoever does watch it will probably end up having their own stories of what they did in these particular instances, which will be different than what I've chosen to do at different instances, and they'll have reasons. It won't just be that they've made a choice, black and white. There's a lot more to this game than that, which is one of the reasons why I rated it so high in the first place.
Ha! The closest I've come to 9 matches when I linger over long while fighting my time.
Let's tell this Legionnaire we can go in. Oh, I don't know if I went in that door. I better check.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation. Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
All right. Magical murder.
Into the fray once more. Source.
What happened? Is this a dream?
Is it?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it's just flying into the stars.
I've always felt my character sounded a little goofy.
Terrible, terrible! It's with I, the quill that lasts a billion words. What's this? 2 Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious.
Let's go with who are you?
Yes. Proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow.
I'm playing my character more worried about himself and the people that are on his group than the overall things that are happening within the universe, just so everybody knows. So when it comes to answering like this, for the most part, not every time, I'm going to go with, why is this place, as you say, shrinking, or what are you doing here? Well, shrinking is more of a dangerous thing. It sounds more, threatening towards him. So I'll choose that in this instance.
At last, a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened.
How can time come to an end? I'm not going to do this for every choice, but I'm going to explain to you exactly what... Again, that's a larger picture kind of thing. This Karak, smaller picture kind of guy, just trying to figure out what's going on around his local area, trying to make sure that people with him are safe. So what exactly has happened here is a more direct question for him.
Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
Might be quite mad.
All right. Looking through the binoculars of fate here.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't it? What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic.
Okay, that was on accident. It updated the log. So, we looked through Zizax's looking lens and saw a great nothingness, a great void at the heart of space. What does this mean? And why does it fill us with such dread? We'll go ahead and take the 2 items here that aren't listed as stealing. Anything to make a little money.
The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be you, dear stranger? You must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence.
So, again, I'm not going to do this for everyone, but so people get a general understanding of what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with what lies beyond this portal. That's basically the instant way out of here for this version of my character. He's going to be more interested in just getting out of here than he is about some of all this other stuff. However, since this is a Let's Play and some people might want to know more, I'm going to go with you believe we are somehow connected to this plane. It's still connected to getting out and what's going on. Still a little bit more information, but it's not as large as can we discuss, which is not this character's strong suit.
It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one.
Okay, so we've got that little bit, and now we're going to go ahead and go with what lies beyond this portal.
Though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain.
All right, so it's making me discuss with him.
Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it...
Through the portal, then. Just interrupt him. That was fun.
There she is! There it is! Come, don't delay!
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Right now, he's our basically our only connection with supposedly getting out of here, so we'll continue to follow him.
Mother of history, author of all that has ever been.
Before I continue, it is strange that, or I don't even know if it's strange, but it is unique that so many fantasy fictions always have the mother of history or the author of time. You know, everything from Dragonlance, Forgotten Realms, so many different fictions always have that one character that lives all the way through time. And I've always wondered why that is, why that character's narrative is placed in so many fantasy fictions. And I've never really been able to figure out why, because it's not necessarily something that is within our fictions, in our religions, where there's a character writing history. There might be something from the past, but it's usually not a character that's currently writing out the story of history as it goes. It's just, it's interesting that it's always in fantasy.
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
We also see a continuation of text, maybe controlling vocals a little bit too much here and slowing the game down.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
Okay, so of course, Karak is just not one for long discussions of this kind, these theories, so says exactly what happened.
A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so? Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are.
You know, it's funny because as you look at this scene, there's some things that are blatantly right in front of you, but there's also a couple little, I guess I would call them hidden themes or themes that I noticed when I first played this. So behind her, obviously, is supposedly this banner or this quilt of time that's being weaved, even as you guys are sitting here. However, the way it's presented is strangely enough like a hologram if you really look at it, and almost like those 4 blocks are hologram projectors projecting out different streams, and it's sort of cool. It has like a little bit of a duality there with the digital mixed with the analog, and I always really like that. What is this Starstone exactly?
Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes, though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
When I originally played this, and even now, I still find this overall narrative very clumsy in how it's presented to you, between these two characters talking in such a blunt way about exactly what's going on. There's some foreshadowing here, but it really removes a good deal of the mystery about what's going on, and it's just like, boom, here's what's occurring right now. And it, in a way, you are the goblin, troll, whatever, and you're talking to her, even though you're not. That's sort of how the game handles it. And I don't know, I just found this very clumsy, very in-your-face for a game that doesn't have this directness throughout it, but only in very specific moments, especially here. And we'll go with, we have a mission.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger. For a reason I do not yet understand, you and you alone can unlock the powers within the Starstone. But we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time. That shall never be. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
What will it be, Source Hunter? Do
And
tell.
say what Zigzags and the Weaver will, I need more
No
evidence.
matter how improbable, anything is possible. If the Weaver tells the truth, we have some serious work ahead of us.
All right.
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days. Off you go then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence.
Of the essence, okay.
A question has me stumped, milady.
So here's the riff travel button. I found those riffs.
That record all of history parallel to one another.
That is a good question, Zigzags.
Active. Okay, might as well head back. Okay, as you guys are...
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone.
Yeah, no, it's not. For me, it's actually the murder.
So it is, and so it should continue to be. For I suspect his foul murder and the plight of dying time are somehow interconnected. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, Hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
So, teleporter pyramid, obviously from the original Divinity, had those. Let's talk.
All time, are you? Leave it to an imp to try to fill our minds with all manner of magical gobbledygook. I'll tell you who you are. Source Hunters, members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic in the realm. There, the enigma is solved. I knew you weren't the type to be taken in by such high-flying, pie-in-the-sky nonsense. Imagine history imps can fly their floating islands into the end of time for all we care.
Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to finish that up. We'll go ahead and end this part of the walkthrough here. Again, I'm trying to make them sort of short. It's been interesting to see how the characterization has come together, and just overall in my mind how I'm going to end up playing this character, but also how those voices really do impact the playthrough itself and how I feel about the characters. Anyway, that's it for me. Next up, we will be still trying to figure out Jacob's murder. So if you like this video, hit like. If you dislike it, hit dislike. Peace out.